Hi, I'm Jana, and this is a Real Mom car tour of the 2025 Chevy Tahoe High Country. And if you watch any video on this car, it needs to be this one, because I have done a real life test before these things are even on sale. I got my hands on this pre-production vehicle. I'm in Texas with my entire family, and we have done a 4-day road trip. I've put hundreds of miles on this Tahoe, and I'm going to tell you what I like and what you need to know in this tour. So let's do it. If you're new here, I'm glad you found me. Hi, I'm Jana, and I give Real Mom car tours. I am a boy mom, auto enthusiast, and I'm an Aquarius, which means my life and sometimes these tours are a little bit chaotic, but they are fun. So buckle up and let's get back to it. The first thing you need to know is that you have 3 engine choices under the hood. This is the High Country, which is the top of the line trim level. So under the hood, we have a 6.2 liter V8. This is going to make 420 horsepower and generate 460 pound-feet of torque. There's also 2 other engine choices. One is a smaller V8, it's a 5.3, and then you have a Duramax diesel option. I'm going to put all that information here on their horsepower and torque, and you can decide what's best for you. Depending on price, I would consider the 5.3 V8. I have other people here in this group that have driven it and they like it, but I'll tell you, I've made some aggressive maneuvers. Texas roads are freaking wild and they're stressful, and it's a hell of a lot going on, to be honest with you. I made some aggressive maneuvers. I went from 0 to pedal on the floor. I love the rumble of the V8 and it got me where I needed to be. This baby also tows, and I'll let you know more about that later. I need to apologize for all these bugs, but if you can look past those, you're gonna see that this is a revised front end. All the other YouTuber guys are gonna call it a front fascia, but who in the real world says it has a nice front fascia? It's a front end, it's the grill. Check it out. You still have your signature Chevy bow tie. It seems higher and wider, and you have new LEDs that have animation. They have a new shape, a new design, and they're really, really pretty. You're gonna have LEDs all the way around. I'm gonna try to get some night shots and put that in here so that you can see what it looks like. You also have LED fogs down here by this yellow jacket that I hope doesn't sting me. You guys, I am out here in the dark in the middle of Texas at a dark sky resort. I want to show you the animated lighting on the new Tahoe. So you have the animated LEDs in the front and this light on the ground, which makes me feel really safe at night. But on the approach, it looks different than other Tahoes of the past, and this one has gotten a lot of attention. You have air curtains on each side, which are functional for your aero right here and on the other side, and it just looks so good. But again, I know the bugs are just killing my vibe right now. Let me tell you what else is new. For the first time ever, you have the option to get 24-inch machined wheels that look incredible. This stunning blue color is called Lakeshore Blue, and you have a matching, let's go YouTube! This stunning color is called Lakeshore Blue. You have your High Country badging up top and more inside, which I will show you. You have your turn signal indicator here, a camera here, and body colored caps on here. Inside of your mirror, you have your blind spot detection. One of the things that has come in hella handy are these automatic running boards, because I have kids loading in and out of this thing. And honestly, even though I've got long legs, I use them every time. So I think that's really important. A lot of people don't think about needing the running boards or the power step assist, but it's not just about you, it's about your child or shorter passengers. Check out this back end, which has also been revised with new LED taillights, LED turn signals, and rectangular quad exhaust that is inspired by the sister vehicle, the Corvette. In Suburbans and Tahoes of the past, because I followed a couple on this road trip, I've drove this thing at least 6 hours and I've got 2 more days to go. These were hidden in the most recent gens that I saw. All your trailering and towing stuff is right under here. You have sensors all the way around here for your Super Cruise, and more cameras here, your backup camera, your trailering camera, and it does have an auto sense lift gate. So let me show you that. New for 2025, you have an auto sense lift gate, which means when you approach, as long as you have the fob on you, it should beep and open, which is incredibly handy when you have your arms full. And as parents, and especially moms, my arms are always full because the kids can't even carry a pencil. Meanwhile, I am like, I've got it all. Now that this cargo door is open, this is something that we need to talk about. Let's chat for a second. If you're in the market for a 3-row SUV, you have your mid-size options, which would be your Chevy Traverse. Traverse is gonna have about the same amount of cargo as Tahoe. Suburban is gonna have the most cargo, and I will do another full tour on a Suburban because I've got one parked right over there, and I'm doing that next. But for Tahoe, here's what you need to know. With the 3rd row down, as you can imagine, there is a ton of cargo space. And I will just show you that. I'm gonna put this seat down just so you can see. This is my I'm going to Europe suitcase. I'm gonna turn it that way. I've got my whole grocery carrier here. We packed this baby down. We had 4 suitcases, a cooler, all the crap my kids won at the Texas State Fair, which is giant stuffies. This and some random dirty laundry bags, you know, where you like carry it all before you pack it to take all your dirty crap home. Packed back here. I did lay the 3rd row down because we also had 3 backpacks. And instead of trying to Jenga it in, we're not using the 3rd row, I laid it down. But if you need to use your 3rd row and you need to haul stuff while you're using the 3rd row, here's what it's gonna look like. Put this up, move my cargo carrier here. We're gonna take out my going to Europe suitcase for just a minute, and this seat's a little bit far back, so let me move that. These seats are on rail. No, it did not. Oh my gosh, darn. It's a little bit windy out here in Texas Hill Country. The 2nd row's on rails, so you can move it up and back. It's not power in the 2nd row, which I would like to see on this top trim level, but the 3rd row is power. So we're gonna bring this 3rd row up, and we're gonna use my giant I'm going to Europe suitcase. I know nobody would put it on the wheels like that. Work with me, guys. This is what it looks like this way. You've got that here. You've got this here. You do have a camera in your rear view mirror, so work with me on this. Let's say you took a carry-on bag and you stacked it up here-ish, and then you had 2 more this way. You can get quite a bit of luggage in the Tahoe. But for demonstration purposes, I think you get it. When you're using the 3rd row, you're gonna want these headrests up. And then when you wanna lay it flat, you hit this button, they will drop for you. So what do you think? Is this enough cargo room for you if you're using the 3rd row? I also wanna mention there's captain's chairs in the 2nd row in this configuration. You can get a bench seat, but if you have captains, you can put a dog or another bag, another suitcase in between that walkway in the 2nd row. So speaking of the 2nd row, let's just jump straight to it. I want to show you this side really quickly because it has my child's booster seat. He's 7.5, so he's riding in a booster, and this is straight from the Texas State Fair. I think we spent $200 to get 2 of these, so Godspeed on that. Here's what I was talking about when I said there's one of his Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and we needed this water about, I don't know, 2 days ago. Oh my gosh, y'all, road tripping with kids is absolutely no joke. It has been awesome though in this vehicle, it really has. All right, here's the deal. This is the handle that you pull to move this up or back, depending on who needs room in the 2nd row. If I did not have this booster installed, I would pull this and this part would lay flat. While I've got you here, I do want to show you the storage in the door. You have this nice compartment here. I don't think you could fit a water bottle in there, not the kind we use anyway, but then another compartment here. Really nice soft touch surfaces and open pore wood. We do not have shades. I would love to see shades back here. You do have really pretty high country branding in the door sills and infotainment, which I'll get to in just a second. Just a little peek in the second row so you can see the Kool-Aid Man. What is that thing called? We don't drink Kool-Aid. Do you remember the Kool-Aid Man? I didn't even know my kids knew what this was, but they both had to have these from the Texas State Fair. Lord help us. All right, a couple things you need to know about back here. I'm gonna show you how much legroom I have, and then we'll do a little deep dive into the infotainment. All right, Kool-Aid Man, let me get in here. Oh my gosh, my hair has been blowing like crazy. I'm sure I look absolutely wild, but my husband has my kids and they're driving around this resort on golf carts and they're having the best time. There's a whole field with antelope and there's a ton of white-tailed deer. I think I saw an armadillo last night. I'll update you on all that. This is what it looks like in the second row. I have great leg room. This seat is all the way back now, so I have a tremendous amount of leg room. This is set for me. I'm 5'7". If I need to move it all the way up because I have passengers in the third row, this is what it looks like. Still 5'7". If my husband was driving, he's 6'4". This would be touching my knees, but the third row gets all that room. So I'm gonna put it right in the middle because that's more real world for me. Your vents are up top here. This console moves, which I'm gonna show you. You have a traditional household plug, which is where we've plugged in our Roku. You have places for 2 HDMIs, like this, and you have places to charge with 2 USB-Cs. Your second row passengers also have heated seats, and they can control their temperature right here. I love this cup holder placement. I love it, love it, love it, because it's really easy for this guy who's smaller to grab his water bottle, and for this guy, and he's not fumbling around and having it fall out of the door. You have reading lights here, and the high country has this beautiful pano roof, which I will open for you. All right, you guys, I'm gonna jump in the front seat and just move this console so you can get a visual. There's a button up top that moves this console. That's all the way up, so you can see what that looks like. That gives better access to the walkway and is all the way up here. If I move it all the way back, this is what it looks like. And you can do this while you're driving. So if somebody needs to get closer to the air controls, they need to get closer to their water or whatever it is, maybe you just need to separate these two. That is what that is used for. And it's one of my favorite features. Use this button to move your console up or back. That's what it looks like from this angle. And then to put it all the way back, I want to show you what you can do to help configure this area. So if it's all the way back to the kids, you can still move this for your armrest. You have tons of storage underneath this armrest. Listen, no road trip is complete without a stop to Buc-ee's for all these snacks. And as per tradition, we got this cute, it's upside down. We got this cute Christmas ornament for a Christmas tree. Every family vacation or trip we take, we come back with an ornament. All right, so I think you can see that this is cavernous because it fits all my Buc-ee's stuff and then some. And then look at this. You have this tray here. What's amazing about this space is you can put takeout food here, your purse, or whatever. I had a huge cooler lunchbox type thing, and then I still had my armrest out. So I think you can see that I love, love, love that armrest. You have a camera in your rear view mirror, a ton of camera angles, overhead, front and back, standard, and side. So that shows you what's on each side of your tire, and there's your hitch view angle. Speaking of that, when you are trailering, you have a specific camera angle for that as well. If you are trailering, your controls for that are over here, as well as your four-wheel drive features, your auto hold button, which I call the fast food button, so you don't have to go gas brake, gas brake. If you're in the drive-through, you can put auto hold on, and then the car will stop and not roll. It's kind of like one pedal drive. You have your drive mode selector right here. You have 4 drive modes: normal, sport, off-road, which is going to engage your 4-wheel drive, and tow haul. Aren't those graphics really pretty? We're going to go to sport. I drove yesterday in normal and I averaged 15 mpg. Let me show you if that's going to populate on my digital driver display. This driver display is huge. I know it's a bad angle because you can see my phone, but it's customizable. So you can take this here and change your display to suit whatever you like. Okay, you can see there 15.7 mpg on my first trip, my second trip 15.3 overall. This is a big bad V8, so I mean, it is what it is and I'm not mad about it. And then one of my favorite things is that you can take your nav, your Google map, from here and toggle it so it's in front of you. So when we're driving places, you know, I'm on all these roads I don't know, I like to have it here, and it also will show up in your enormous head-up display. So hopefully you can see that. I'm not driving right now, but this little icon over here, that's like a giant fingertip, is for your Super Cruise, obviously your MPH, and then if I did have Google Maps on, those graphics would show up there too. I'll insert some footage on Super Cruise because this has available Super Cruise and I love it. It also has hands-free voice assistance like this. Hey Google, I need directions to the GF Trail Rides.
GF Trail Rides is 5 minutes from your location by car in light traffic.
It works really, really well. The thing about Google built-in means you don't have to have your phone to use these apps. And you can download more apps from the Google Play Store. So you could download Spotify and be signed in, iHeartRadio and already be signed in, Waze and already be signed in. So get this, you do have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but the reason that a lot of General Motors products and Chevrolet is going to the Google built-in is because you don't need your phone on you and you still have access to your apps and information. So I might have a playlist on Spotify that I just really love. Let's say I leave my phone at home or whatever the thing is. I get in, I can still access my Spotify playlist. The same with Google Maps and Waze. If I am sitting on the couch tonight and I'm thinking about where I'm going tomorrow and I want to go ahead and download those places into my apps on my phone, it automatically updates on my Chevrolet Infotainment. And this big thing is 17.7 inches and it's tilted slightly to the driver. And it's, even though it's not one piece, it's integrated in the dash, and the dash has been lowered a bit so that you can see out better. You control your climate here, and High Country has both heated and ventilated seats. It has a heated steering wheel, which you turn on right here. You can also touch this for your voice assistance if you don't want to scream out, hey, you know who. You can do child safety locks here so your kids don't jump out. You can control your head-up display with the brightness and the height and the rotation. Some people don't love a head-up, but I do. You can access your cameras here, and look at this. Let's say I always want to have quick access to my Google Maps. I can take that and drag it up here and customize your top bar. You can also, really important for families, this is your entertainment hub. If I want access to that for a quick touch button, this controls the screens in the second row. So if you have a Roku, you have access to all of your things, your Netflix, your Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and all that. You can turn the headphones on and off. You can lock it out so they can't mess with it. You can mirror the screens so the person on the left can watch what the person on the right is watching, and so forth. You can also listen in. So you can screen what they're listening to. My kids get on YouTube, no matter how much I say I don't want them to watch YouTube. It's a constant struggle. They're 10 and 7.5. But I can pop in to the infotainment and turn it on the whole car speakers just to make sure that it's appropriate, which is good. So that's kind of a shallow dive into the rear seat entertainment, but I will do a separate video on that so that you can know exactly what you need to. This screen is customizable, so you can have different selections here. You can have different screens here. You can choose what that is and keep your GPS here. You can choose just to have, you can do just audio or trailering. You could double maps or you could triple maps if you wanted to. But I like the fact that you can make this your own. Switch to just audio and you have all those choices. You can pair your phone for Bluetooth and you have a wonderful wireless charging pad here. One of the things I should mention is your climate's pulled out. So not only do you have it up top, but you can control it here, which I like on the fly. I still like these buttons for comfort. And I always say I use these buttons, but on this road trip, I did not. I got used to using this here. And because this is tilted towards me, do you see that tilt? It makes it really easy and accessible. Here's Beckett, he's 7.5. He's gonna show you how he fits in the second row. Oh, there's your state fair prize. Actually, will you show with the booster, please?
Yeah.
Put your seatbelt on. How does it feel back there? You rode in this car a whole lot yesterday.
Yeah, it felt good.
Here, hold that. Wait, you talking to the fluffy part. Hold this piece and hold the bottom. Yep, okay, and now you can talk into the fluffy part.
Yeah, it felt good.
Yeah? What was your favorite part about riding in the back of the Tahoe?
It's comfortable. And there's a TV screen right here.
Can you show me what to do with that?
Yeah. Then it connects.
So you can connect the Roku there, or it's automatically on a Wi-Fi. So we have Wi-Fi in the car. It's an available hotspot. There's my other kid just like right there in the shot. There's a Wi-Fi hotspot so you can connect these devices, or you can connect your personal devices like your
Nintendo, iPad,
all the things.
right here. There's a charger.
Okay, if you had to get into the third row, can you show me how to do it? You can, Eric, will you take this Kool-Aid, ma'am? All right, if you're getting into the third row, walk through the middle, and there you go. Show me what you have in the third row.
Cup holders.
Where does your device go?
Here.
Yep, USB-C.
And then
What about for your brother over here? Same things. And this is set up for 3 people. So if we would have to put Beckett in the middle. Can you sit in the middle and show us what that looks like?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh God, I just about knocked myself out. Okay, here's what it looks like in the third row. I'm gonna sit beside Beckett. This is a little real life. I'll put this over here so they can hear you.
Okay.
It's not bad. Let me show you what it's like with this seat up. So it's not bad. This seat is on rails like I was mentioning, and it's in the middle. So it could come further back. I would probably almost switch places with me. Would you scooch over? Put him in the outboard seat, and I would sit in the middle, I think, because then I can put my legs down the aisle. The thing people love about Tahoes and Suburbans is that you can opt to get a bench in the second row, which brings us up to an 8-passenger vehicle. I'm beyond the bench stage because I want to keep my kids separated. They need that little bit of separation, and I just think cabin chairs are more comfortable, but you could have a bench. So if you need a whole lot of seats, you can do it. Can you sit up straight and look nice? Where are your vents?
Here.
Vents are up top, which is perfect for kids because it's going to blow right down on them so they're not sweating their butts off back here. And then there are no lower latches in the third row. So if you're going to seatbelt install car seats, you're going to have to do that with top tethers. And a booster seat like Beckett has would not anchor in. So depending on the age of the child, I might put the boosters up here with those lower latches because I like that better. And then if it's an older child and they can just sit in a booster and then we really are just worried about the height of the seat belt, you could still put them in back here. But a convertible car seat would go fine on either of these outboards because of the top tethers. If you do have a middle seat, I just want to show you this because people ask me all the time. Kids in carpool have the hardest time. For your middle seat in SUVs, they put this up here, and that's so you can lay the third row flat. So you have to pull this down and do a little 1-2 punch. And sometimes it's not the easiest. You connect this one here, and then Beckett, you do it for me. Sit down. No, sit in the middle. And then bring this and plug that in right there. And that is how you use that middle seat belt. I know it shouldn't be that difficult, but for some people it can be, because then this part is tricky to get out. There's a little notch down here and you have to depress it so that goes back up, and I'm gonna have to do that with a key or something before we get going because I hate having that hanging from the ceiling. Here's your key fob. A couple things you should know about this. It does have remote start. If you don't like the auto sense tailgate, you can turn that feature off and you just double click this. And we have an air ride suspension. So if you like this brand of chaos and you would like to see more fun and family vehicle tours by a real mom who's a little bit messy, but a whole lot of relatable, you can find me all over social media, where my hair also is probably a hot mess. I'm on TikTok and Instagram and at realmomcartours.com. So let me know what you thought of the 2025 Chevy Tahoe. So for me and my chaotic life and my family, my kid's about to throw a rock, so I gotta go. Thanks for watching.